following program is a SUTV student production. The views expressed are not necessarily those of Salisbury University, the University System of Maryland, its regents, administration, officers, employees, or representatives.
On the broadcast tonight, honoring our heroes. SU and the city of Salisbury held events to honor those who have served and sacrificed. We'll have that coverage for you tonight. We'll also take a look at the sweeping changes proposed to the Veterans Affairs Administration by that agency's new secretary. And hunger is not acceptable. Salisbury University is attempting to do their part to help end hunger by assisting those in need right here in Salisbury. And election impact. Now that most of the smoke is cleared, we take a look at opinions and perceptions of the races and some of the changes we can expect to see. We'll have that and more tonight on SUTV Evening News. Good evening. We begin tonight's broadcast with what the university did to celebrate Veterans Day. A ceremony was held in front of Holloway Hall to celebrate those who have given so much, and Sarah Wood covered that event for us.
Salisbury University celebrated the brave men and women defending the country this Veterans Day with a ceremony in front of Holloway Hall. Community members, students, veterans, and faculty were all present for the remembrance of those who have served. SUTV caught up with some of the students that have led SU to welcoming veterans back into the Salisbury community and transition into college life.
I'd love to see more and more people show up as each year continues and we get more veterans on campus. So a lot of our men and women are coming back. They're downsizing military, so we need to bring them into the university, keep them adjusted, get them adjusted. And for faculty and staff, they have to be ready for that because these people aren't your traditional 18-year-olds that come in.
We do a lot of philanthropy events. We raise money for organizations such as Toys for Tots, which the Marine Corps sponsors. We also make care packages for the troops. And we have various fundraisers for Wounded Warrior Project and other agencies that help out veterans and those in need with the military.
I don't wear this hat in public very much. I keep this hat, on the training grounds. But this one day a year, I want to celebrate my fellow veterans and honor them. And so show that, again, leadership and that voice of leadership is an important thing.
For SUTV News, I'm Sarah Wood.
And new VA Chief Robert McDonald has promised major changes at the Veterans Affairs Administration. The secretary plans to hire 28,000 medical professionals to help at the agency's hospitals and clinics around the country. McDonald, who says that restoring trust in the VA among veterans is his top priority, has been visiting a number of agency locations and says that he will be holding senior officials accountable for their actions. And Saturday was the day for free college student labor for many local organizations and residents as RSOs participated in I Love Salisbury. The event is an opportunity for students and the university to forge a better relationship with residents of the city through community service and positive interaction. And now Brooke Reese tells us what the university is doing in an attempt to battle hunger right here in Salisbury.
GUC Cares sponsored a food drive this past week called Hunger is Not Acceptable. Since November 3rd, students were able to drop off non-perishable food items to the information desk in GUC.
GUC Cares project that we started, and GUC Cares was launched in spring of 2012, and it's all about promoting civility across campus. So the GUC as a whole puts on big events throughout the semester, and then we try to help other students pay it forward as well. So Hunger is Not Acceptable is the food drive that we did, started the 3rd and it ends today actually. And so far we have 150 items, so we're hoping that people continue to come out and support. It's a great message just in general that hunger is not acceptable. It's a small project, obviously, but if you can get that message in your head that it's not acceptable and that it will help to inspire other people to take on projects of their own, so that hunger is not acceptable in any way that you can help, you can make a difference.
Over 150 items were donated and will be given to the Joseph House tomorrow morning to support those in need. For SUTV Evening News, this is Brooke Reese.
Now Jamie Potter gives us a look at what to expect from the flyer this week.
This is Jamie Potter with another edition of This Week in the Flyer. On the front page, Shannon Wiley writes about a slightly alarming addition to the Salisbury Police Department in her article titled, SPD Adds Tasers to Group of Available Tools for Officers. Wiley brings up the concern of mixing tasers with flammable pepper spray. In the editorial section, Becky Miller writes about the injustice women received during No Shave November in her article titled, Never Shall She Not Shave. Miller questions why it is acceptable for men to stop shaving their faces but not for women to stop shaving their legs. On the same page, Kobe Azule brings up an interesting idea in his article titled, Stop Changing Time. Azule challenges daylight savings time, saying it is no longer necessary and only causes confusion. In the Go Life section, Megan Newcomer gives a student's positive experiences at campus-held events in her article titled, GUC Events Offer an Escape. Newcomer shows the appeal of some of these free, fun, and frequent events. Now here's an exclusive interview with Flyer writer Samuel Stevens on his article titled, Students Reflect on Troops Returning to Iraq to Fight ISIS.
It's important for Salisbury students, I think, because we've grown up with war. Most of us were born in the mid-90s, so we were very young when 9/11 happened, and we went through basically our entire childhood with this war always in the background, and then the current administration came in 2008 saying the wars would end, but now they're starting again. I just think it's kind of this looming specter that, it's kind of in the back of everyone's mind, but then at the same time we kind of push it away even though it's going on. And you have to be able to see history when it's happening, which is what news is.
Thank you, Sam. That's all for this week's edition. Now to Eli.
And now Colin Sweeten breaks down what happened in last week's historic Maryland gubernatorial election and has some student reactions.
In the wake of the 2014 midterm elections, the Republican wave has managed to capture 8 seats in the Senate and attain its majority. While the GOP were able to voice plans of changes in taxation and the economy, Democrats established no such focus. As a result of the failure to reach the public with a simple plan, Democratic candidates saw a steep drop in voter turnout when compared to years past. In Maryland, Anthony Brown saw voter turnout drop as high as 12% in Montgomery County and 9% in Baltimore City, 2 of the 3 areas where O'Malley still has an approval rating above 50%.
Just getting the word out, really. Sending an email once in a while could help. Maybe doing something in Red Square where you have a voters booth set up there.
More prevalent than Brown's failures were Hogan's successes. Concerned with the economy and taxes, Hogan promised the people of Maryland change, and the people listened, making him just the 2nd Republican governor the state has seen since 1969.
I think it'll be an interesting change. Either things will go great or it'll just go really bad for Larry Hogan.
Speaking of politics, this week President Obama reached a historic deal on climate change during his trip to China. The deal seeks to limit the 2 most polluting countries in the decades to come, but many feel as though China has too much leeway in that deal. And graphic design artists that are graduating in December are having their final showcase of their college careers. Paintings and other forms of artwork are being shown in the Fulton Hall Art Gallery.
It's honestly a huge last ceremony for what we've been working at for about 4 years, for me 4.5. So it's everybody's work, and it's amazing to see how much you progress, and you see through portfolios how much all the designers have grown through the faculty at Salisbury. My walls for my parents. I included pictures because they're my inspiration too. Like, I have inspiration everyday experiences, but my parents and my family are my biggest inspiration, which is why I included photos.
The gallery, the show itself is a bunch of graduating seniors in the graphic design program, but anyone can come to the show and just enjoy the artwork. My design philosophy that I created is that good design should be found at the intersection of aesthetics, simplicity, and solution. So it should solve all of those things. It should look good, whatever that means for whoever's looking at it. It should be simple, it shouldn't be overcomplicated, and then it should solve something. It should have a purpose. I would say to aspiring artists or graphic designers is to do whatever you're passionate about. Sometimes we get so caught up on doing things that every graphic designer does or every artist does and trying to fit a mold, but we're all different and we're all passionate about different things, and I think if you just follow that passion and you continue to enjoy that passion, then your artwork is going to speak for itself.
And moving to sports, the SU field hockey team won their second consecutive field hockey CAC championship this weekend in a 2-1 victory over Christopher Newport University.
It was an awesome feeling, just knowing that we got in, but we're not satisfied, so definitely still trying to dig some more.
We are practicing our corners a lot. We are a team in which gets a lot of corners, but we haven't been able to capitalize on a lot of them, so we're making sure that we can score on those opportunities.
They reduce all the bids that you can get in, so knowing that we're for sure in there, I think that's the most exciting part, is that we definitely got in. I think mentally we're all trying to stay calm and poised, but at the same time we're really excited about it.
I don't say more pressure. It makes you want to win the final thing a little bit more because it's your last chance to get the ring. So I think it motivates me more than anything.
There's definitely a lot of pressure because if we don't win, then we're done for good. So I think the pressure's a good pressure though, because it's building up and reminding us that we have to score and we have to win to keep going.
And that win propelled the Seagulls to the NCAA Division III tournament. They will play on Saturday against Centre College. We'll have what Salisbury did for veterans after this. On Saturday, runners, walkers, ruckers, and dog owners descended on downtown Salisbury for the inaugural Hero 5K. The event, which was put together by members of the military and their family, aimed to serve as an opportunity to raise funds and awareness for a number of veterans' issues.
We had some runners, we had some walkers, we had some ruckers. A couple of us ruck marched it, but we had a good crowd out here today.
What inspired the event?
So I'm an active duty military spouse, and Jake, who is another event coordinator, and Chris, we are all military affiliated people, and we just thought it was something that is unique and hasn't happened before, and is something that was really needed in the downtown community.
Why is this work important?
It's important because a lot of people are struggling and they are just looking for something that will get them through the day when they come home. And there are a lot of different reasons why, but primarily it's to help these veterans that are struggling to get through their daily activities of living. These dogs will bring people back to the life that they've always wanted, and just to have hope again and happiness.
What do you see as the future for this event? Keep doing it. Benefit other veterans organizations. Keep going. See who needs support and raise money to support them.
100 runners. We're going to have a helicopter, tanks, all the fire equipment from all over the community.
Definitely tanks.
Yeah, a lot of.
There will be tanks.
And Mike Lewis, we're challenging you. We need the MRAP here next year.
Mike Lewis, be here.
And that does it for this week's broadcast. We thank all of our veterans. Have a good night.